Hey everybody, it's Marty the JavaScript Party and my buddy Rhett. It is 2:43. It's like was raining all morning, but it's beautiful now. It's like 64 degrees Fahrenheit out there. And I just got done working on my let's see if I can catch my cat. There's this I saw this TikTok thing where you can hold your cat. You get two paws on your cat and then you put your hand under and you throw it on your shoulder. And the first time I tried it with this cat's name is Kiwi. It's a black cat with beautiful green eyes. First time I did that with the Kiwi, she actually, once I got both her paws, she flipped over on her back, bit the heck out of my hand, and ran. I mean, not a hard bite, because if she wanted to, she could, take a chunk of my hand out. If she just gave me a little nip. And then our other cat, I actually successfully did it. And then the next day, I tried it with her, and it worked. I was able to. Kiwi let me do it. But anyways, so I was working on my Angular material table in my 3JS thing and all that. So my brain's a million miles away, and now I want to move over to whatever I'm supposed to be working on next. And I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it is the Say Hello project, right? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to hit Control C. I only work on Say Hello once a week. So then I'm going to hit refresh, just make sure that everything is down. And I am like, I never realized until like last week, I think that, or maybe 2 weeks ago, that the context switching and changing is actually a valuable skill that I do need to um, sort of uh, sharpen. And the only way I could sharpen is sort of observe myself doing it. So I'm not like a doctor or anything like that, but I did start taking, I think it's called glycine and collagen peptides, and I don't get I get the cheap stuff, and but like the pure, like I try to be careful that it's doesn't have weird additives or anything in it, but it's really been like my skin is just so much stronger now. Like it used to be really easy for if I just did that I would bleed. But then I started taking those two things and it made my skin. But that's in that drink. All right. So let's move over. Been recent. Yeah. So say hello. It looks like because flashcard was a while back. So let's go to say hello. And normally I can kind of come up to speed based on the branch name. And unfortunately, you can't see branches because it's in the lower left behind my picture here. So, but you can usually see the branch with Visual Studio Code. You can see the branch name right here. And so routing and its dependencies. No, that wasn't the name of the branch. That's what it was doing. I don't know what the name is. Setup routing was this one. So let's go ahead and put this back. And we have code changes, so it looks like we have routing set up. And the thing is about this project is I do think the foundational core technology of this project is not okay. So I'm gonna have to. So this is a little different of a concept for me because like in the Flash in the other one, what happened in the 3JS project that I was just working on, um, it doesn't have like a separate project like this. It doesn't have it broken out where Cypress and Say Hello are in different projects. But so I'm just gonna Say Hello UI, and I'm gonna go npm start. All right. So the core project is not voice, in my opinion. The core technology that drives this application is routing. Um, that's how we know what where we're at. Oh, it looks like I wanted to build a types. Oh yeah, so it looks like this is uh, what we're trying to do, and we just I guess all we want to do is make sure that it defaults to the right route. That's all we're trying to do at this point. So let's get rid of our localhost 4200. And I don't even know, like, did we commit a routing change, or is routing even working? Did we get, yeah, it looks like we have. We did. Okay, so we made changes here. Yep. And all we did was that. So routes, it looks like, was already committed for me last week, or it was already set up for me last week, and all I need to do is add a couple routes, it looks like. Yeah, but it looks like I push it to automatically push it to there, but the path is language region. And then um, if it's blank, we go to uh, ENUS, and if we and then basically we alias the path. So the very first thing is language, the second thing is region, and then if I guess this is saying if you go to some other path completely, it's going to push you to ENUS. So if you were like, um, if you went to three things, right, like ENUS blah blah slash blah blah, it would push you back to ENUS. It looks like that's what it was going to do. I don't want to go too crazy on writing end-to-end tests for this because, then I'm just end-to-end testing routing, which Angular did a fine job of. And it is probably, I mean, one of the best pieces of work they did was their routing implementation. It's just fantastic. So, hello, coming soon. Okay, so we did not end up at ENUS. That was weird. Okay, so and then we did. Okay, so not did not do. Oh, okay. So maybe that was just a weird thing, but so so that is working. We do have a weird brow scroll bar issue. Um, I feel like that I'll deal with later. Um, Normally I try to stop everything if I see a scroll bar, especially a horizontal scroll bar, but even a vertical scroll bar. Usually I just want to pull the emergency brake and stop everything and fix this. But since we're so early in this project, it is very likely that I have some dummy code or something in here that will that is causing this. So I'm just not going to stop everything for that. But I do think that it looks like there was kind of a couple of things I was up to. One was to get a, an end-to-end test for this, and the other one was to get um, I like email set up to be able to handle this. And then third will be to get um, well, I don't think we'll have to do anything special to get. I think we're gonna have to do something in I like email for DreamHost because what happens is when you go to like if we go to my favorite website at this point, voice, you'll notice that we have this route, this API route, but the index file is sitting on voice. So when you go straight here, if you go straight to like through a bookmark or something straight to this, you have to tell DreamHost, oh yeah, there is no API. Like there is no folder called API over at DreamHost. So it doesn't work the traditional way. It has to redirect everything back to voice. And this HT access is how you set that up. All right, so but it looks like what we want, and then the other thing I'm starting to remember is that I made the decision that I'm not going to do unit tests on this project, which is kind of a bummer because I actually am getting to where I really like doing the unit tests, but that's just the way it goes. I don't know that unit tests are ever going to come back to be a thing in Angular. Um, I don't know if they like. I don't think that. I think the jury's still out, like on whether unit tests are actually useful or not, um, and or whether they're worth the squeeze, right? Like you have to put a lot of time and effort into unit testing, and um, is it worth paying for that for organizations and stuff? So, all right, so I'm gonna start Cypress. In most projects I have, the way I start Cypress is I type in npm run Cypress and open. And the reason that works is because inside of my Cypress, I have a package, and inside of the package, I have a script, and that script is tied there. But that script could be whatever you want it to be. So, like if you're following along and you don't have this script, and you have a website and you want to see if you have Cypress, or you have Cypress, you want to run it, you have to look in your scripts to see how you launch it. Or I think you can launch it npx Cypress open. Now, I believe what would happen in this case is it would attempt to use the it might attempt to use, depending on lots of stuff, it may end up trying to use a globally installed Cypress. So we'll see. So what I'm hoping to do in this session is to get the Cypress, um, the Cypress script, just to make sure that it goes to localhost and that 4200, and then it ends up at ENUS. Like that's all I'm trying to do, but it's taking forever for Cypress to open, which is pretty typical. I've found that to be normal. Um, and this is a pretty fast computer, so um, you know, it's just like got to keep that in mind. Now I want to create another project that is like my early name for it is Clippy, and it's basically for my wife. And because she's just always on her phone trying to communicate in all kinds of different ways. Yeah, sometimes it's with TikTok, sometimes it's with other social, like she's trying to set up videos, just all kinds of stuff, right? And um, she constantly needs to put stuff into like she needs to type stuff, and many times it's the same stuff in different places. And so it would be really nice if she could use her voice to create something and then hit a button to put that, like to fill in a text box, and then she could tweak it or whatever with her with her keyboard on her phone, and then she could hit a button and put it into the clipboard, and then she could just paste it wherever. And it probably would even be useful if she had like like if it stored them, and it'd be really nice if that was like a local storage kind of thing. So she would really enjoy that. So that's something I want to work on, and I've been trying to figure out like one of these projects would probably be a good one to do like a um I'm trying to think out loud here. I wonder why my 0300 didn't show up. But one of them would be nice. Oh, I don't know. I think the title's gone. Oh, so one of them. I mean, I think I want to use discrete for that, right? So you hit the button, tell it to that you're trying to trying to record your voice into a text area, and then and then it turns itself off, and then you put it into the clipboard if you want, or you tweak it, however you want to do it, or it could automatically put it in the clipboard. That would be really nice, and it's discrete. And this say hello is kind of like discrete, but the problem is like what I'm talking about doesn't care about the routing. I don't think. Maybe it does. Maybe no, it doesn't care about the routing. So there's that. And then so that's kind of like so it's kind of like this project, but then it's kind of like the other project because the other project doesn't care about routing, but that one is continuous. So I don't know. I'm thinking, but I don't know why the third one doesn't. Didn't we add a third script? Oh, looks like I need to rename this to .cy. Oh, don't laugh at me, Rhett. Oh my gosh. Look at that. So yeah, so that was my mistake there. All right, so let's see if exist still works. Exist, exist, man. I was so mad at myself this morning for not going out and buying Red Bull last night and having it rating for me when I woke up this morning. That would have been so nice. Mm, I was not feeling well this morning though, at all. I feel a lot better now, but man, it's crazy how long. But that would be really cool, right? Like, so you get your phone out and you're just like, uh, I hand make everything, and that's just, and then you store that, and now it's in your list of things, and then like, whenever, whenever she's texting somebody, whenever she's going into, let's see, dismiss, whenever she's going into, like responding to somebody in TikTok, whenever she's responding to somebody in maybe one of these payment schemes, like PayPal or something, and she could just use that and refer to that and go find it and paste it, you know. So, um, all right, so that worked. Let's go with the title. Let's see. It wouldn't surprise me if the title. Oh, so it did find it. H1 expected H1 to be visible, and now routing, and routing don't do nothing. All right. Oh, and see, it is at ENUS. So it went here and then it pushed to ENUS, which is nice. Um, okay, so now I want to write. So basically, I just want to go on my script and I want to add some. I just want to check the URL. Do I still have my? Oh yeah, there it is. See, like literally 10 minutes ago, my brain was deep in mat tables and JSON stringify and stuff like that, and now I'm in a whole different world, and like that just happened. That just happened on a dime, and I know that like in 1997, if I had tried that, it would have. I don't think I would have been able to do it. I don't think I could come up to speed in a whole different thing that fast. You know, I mean, I have a degree in electrical engineering. I just finished electrical engineering school, but like we did not change contexts that fast. You know, I spent hours on one thing, and then it's not like I would take a test for 15 minutes and then go take another test and then go back to the original test. You know, like we didn't do that. That just isn't something that we understood. I'll tell you, the one skill that it looks like kids these days are getting that the rest of us aren't is the ability to write something that does not look like it came from AI. Like that is a skill that those kids do all the time. Like they'll get it from AI and then they modify it so that it looks like it didn't come from AI. And actually, I think there are some professionals that are going the other way around. I actually have heard that there's some places where they expect you'll get a bigger bonus if their system shows that you used AI. So if you use at least 80% AI, so now I guess those people are actually trying to game the system to make it look like they use more AI than they did. So crazy. The world is a funny place. Okay, so in I have a Cypress script, and I want it to check the route. Um, so it goes to, let's see, this right here I want to make configurable so that I can test my I like email and I could test GitHub, um, by just like, and I would love to make it to where it's like the command. So you know how I said Cypress open? I would love to be able to be like Cypress open I like email, Cypress open GitHub. And then it would, based on that, that would be cool. I don't know if that's possible, but let's do. and the router pushes it to, and I want to verify in my script. Go here and just give it that and do that. Okay, so now I do want to make that big. She wants to check it out. Crazy cat. And then I think I want to make this a. I guess we should just make sure that works. And then we'll add the. We'll make it more. Okay, so yeah, that worked. So we passed. Now I don't want. I want it to be. I want this to be a like configurable. So in the future, so I'm just sort of setting things up for the future. So in the future, I want to use the URL, not the. Um, okay, so that was fine. I did not think that would be a problem. And then I think we can just do this. It's so funny because I thought this was the stupidest thing when it came out. This hashtag, this backtick thing, like JavaScript had this big move forward that was very clumsy. So it did not. Is it dollar $URL? Okay, so I'm doing something wrong. So, oh, there's an extra slash. You'll say, okay. Yep, and that's because that up there had that. Never would have thought of that. So easy to fix right now. Would have been a real pain in the butt in 6 months to try to figure that out. Oh, what the heck was broken? All right, so that's cool. And, it would have been a lot harder. Um, so that is working. And so I think we have one last thing or two other things that I want to get done. One is, well, okay, one is to get I like email working properly. And then two is to push it out to GitHub, which I think we may have already done. And it's kind of funny because it's like I always forget. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, I don't know exactly what that URL is. And it seems like it should be the easiest thing in the world. But yeah, it's just like one of those things that slips my mind. Anyway, so that is that. I think that's a good stopping point. I think next time, next Saturday, we will add we'll get it working for I like email, and then we'll build it out and push it to I like email and see if we can get that working. I don't know for sure if we'll do that. It just that's what I think the next steps are. I wonder if there's like a thing I could do in here that would remind me. Um, it's like I feel like I need to build out like a scheme for like this situation where like I can say, okay, so the next thing I want to do, if I do this, say hello. Okay, next step. So we don't want to actually ever commit this, but so I'm just trying to so get I email working. So next Sunday, I may remember. Saturday, I may remember to look in here um, for it, or I may not. Man, I could see myself actually doing this all the time, even at work, like just going to the README and update that. Now, you got to be careful though, because it would be easy to commit that. Um, but anyways, not that it would be the end of the world, uh, to push something in as long as you weren't vulgar or something. I think you should be fine. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. Bye.